What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Friday to you. How you guys doing today? I hope everyone had a productive, profitable week. All right. This is Jeremiah Davis, aka the Funding Coach, coming to you with Black Label Friday. All right, Black Label Friday, and today's topic is building business credit, but business credit net vendors. Okay, net vendors. A lot of you may not have known, and maybe don't have a full understanding of how the vendors have changed. Sorry, I got something here I need to take a look at. Okay. Yeah. How things have changed, right? The thing about business credit, and I really don't even want to use that term anymore. I rather like the term become bankable because that's what it really is. Business credit alone doesn't get you a whole lot. Um, it's one of the other pieces that you need to access more capital, whether it be lines of credit, whether it be credit cards, whether it be, business funding options. It is an essential and vital um, component of it. But what is business credit? That term is kind of ambiguous because I don't think anyone has clearly defined it, or most of us haven't had a clear understanding of what it is. So maybe we should start with that. Let's start with what is business credit. All right. I mean, the simplest terms is business credit is your business credit profile, credit file, right? So your business can have a credit file like you have a personal credit file, right? And it's composed of the different lines of credit that you may have in your business name and how you utilize those lines of credit, right? But business credit is structured a bit differently. There is a business credit score, but there are multiple business credit scores. All right, and there are different scoring models that different business reporting agencies and vendors and creditors look at. Okay, and then there's different, like in the monitoring groups. You got DNB, you got Dun and Bradstreet, you got Experian, you got Equifax, you got Credit Safe, you got there's like 15 credit reporting agencies or business credit monitoring companies that report your business credit, right? And then a lot of vendors and lenders look at those various types of business credit monitoring companies like DNB and Credit Safe to see if your business is credit worthy or what are you applying for. Okay. And aside the score, the number one factor and the primarily only factor that they're looking for is payment history, right? So if your payment history is not good, then you have bad business credit. If your payment history is good, and then you have a higher business credit score, but you also have to think of the mix of credit. How many vendor trade lines or just business credit trade lines do you have? Okay. Quite frankly, the more the merrier. Okay, because um, you won't get penalized for having a lot of different business credit trade lines. For example, how many business credit trade lines does Walmart have? Hundreds, maybe thousands, okay, for all their different vendors. All right. And I believe most of them are on some type of revolving or net term. Okay. And now you can get, business credit from Walmart and Apple and, T-Mobile and, AT&T and, you know, I mean, there's a wide range. The business credit arena is expanding tremendously. And quite frankly, in this day and age, in the future, in the near future, if you're an entrepreneur, you don't have business credit and a strong business credit profile, you're going to be very, very limited in what you can do. You're going to be super limited in what type of funding you can access, what type of credit you can get approved for, things like that. It's becoming more reliant upon. Okay, and it signifies a transition in your business as far as the world sees it. Right. So if you have a lot of trade lines, you got a lot of good business revenue, um, and you got good personal credit, and you got your ducks in a row, then you are more credit worthy. Okay, and this is how you're going to grow your business. This is how you're going to grow your business exponentially. Um, yeah. So don't try to do too many things. So let's talk about the vendor accounts. Okay, a vendor basically is another business that you buy products and services from, so you can supply your goods and services to your customers. Right now, let's just take it. Let's keep it simple. Let's do a food truck. Right, you got a food truck and you need to buy food. You need to buy all the different things. You need to buy oil if you're frying food. You need to buy, the food products you need, as well as the containers, as well as napkins and sporks and things of that nature. Maybe ice, gas, propane. However you're powering your food truck. I mean, there's a number of business expenses that go along with owning a food truck to deliver food. Okay. Um, I got this food truck right down the street. They got them street tacos. Whoo, Lord, they're good. But the green sauce they put on them, I never had it before until like a week ago. And I've been back twice this week. So uh, there you go with that. But my point being is, they got to buy the meat. They got to buy the corn tortillas. They got to buy the cilantro, the onions. They got to buy whatever they make that green sauce out of. They got to pay for the electricity. They got to pay for whatever they got the fryers or the grills back behind there, and how they're cooking. They got to put them in the styrofoam cup. They got the little white paper they put in the bottom of the styrofoam, right? Um, all those things. They don't sell drinks, and they don't sell chips and salsa. They always sell the taco, or they have several other, kind of Latin American Mexican type dishes other than the street tacos. I've only had the street tacos, but my point being is the, the traditional way or the old fashioned way is make money, buy products with that money. Use the same money, and then keep the profit, right? And then and repeat and repeat and repeat. The new way, right? How much profit do you think that food truck can make on the? And they charge $3 a taco too. which is so that's a pretty good deal these days for a taco, especially in Florida, or where I live at anyway. Um, I can go down to the fancy taco Mexican restaurant. I can pay, I think $25 for the brisket tacos, and but that's a sit-in restaurant. But back to the food truck. What if they had three food trucks? How much money, how much profitability can they have, right? How do they get three food trucks? Well, I would recommend and I would advise them if they ask me that they stop using their cash to buy products, their foods and things. I would tell them to get the vendor trade lines for the end from the suppliers that they buy their products from, whether it's Sam's Club or what have you, right? Get a business account with Sam's Club, buy that on a Sam's Club credit card, right? Or a vendor or net term card, right? And then out of the profit from that week, pay the credit card off, or month, pay the credit card off, right? And do that on a recurring basis. And what that will do is a multiple of things. It's going to it's going to increase their operating capital. The bank account is going to get larger because all the money going in is not coming out immediately to resupply. Okay, so that's number one, right? They're going to have more cash on hand. What that does, that makes you look more attractive to lenders. It also increases your bank rating score. Okay, the longer you have money in the bank and the larger balances you have, the higher your bank rating score is, right? And banks are looking for you to have a minimum of a low five, right? If you're in the threes or the fours, you're not going to get a lot of approvals for business funding. Okay, but if you're in a low five, then you have your chances of getting approved for business funding, uh, are exponential. Okay, so that's one benefit of using business vendor trade lines. Okay, is stop running operating capital, increase bank rating score. Okay, um, the next thing it also does when that trade line reports, right, it lets other creditors know that you are credit worthy. So now, how about what if you can get your styrofoam containers from a wholesaler for, say 50% of what they charge you at Sam's, right? Now you can buy a month full of containers for the same amount of money, or actually 50% less than the money than you spend at Sam's because you're buying in bulk. Say you get a month's supply of those containers, right? And so forth and so on. Say you go to say one of the farmers markets or the food the fresh produce places and get your limes and your cilantro and things like that that you can start saving money on your supplies by going direct to places where you can get these things cheaper, right? And what is that going to do? That's going to increase your cash flow. That's going to increase your bank scores, that your bank balances. That's going to increase your profit margins. Okay. And this is what I'm talking about. Now, after say 3 6 months, you have enough money, right? 40, $50,000 to buy a second food truck. Then you go find a spot to put that food truck and repeat, right? So it's very, very, very possibly able to get multiple food trucks in say a year or a year and a half, 2 years, hire people to run those food trucks and using these vendor accounts, right? Getting equipment financing to buy the food trucks, right? So you keep your operating capital and let the food truck pay for itself. Hey, this is what I'm saying. The profit from these things can pay for themselves. That's my philosophy. The business should be able to pay for itself, pay for the things it needs, right? I'm about to launch smart marketing campaigns. I'm like, okay, when the money is coming in and the profit is there, then I can reinvest this money into things to make more money, enhance growing your business. All right. And then there's no stopping you. Then if you come up with a blueprint, a plan that you can duplicate in multiple locations, multiple cities, multiple, it's now you're McDonald's, now you're Burger King, now you're what, Popeyes, or Olive Garden, whatever it is, and you have multiple locations in multiple places. Of course, you need the manpower to operate those places, and having some standard business hours, having the right location. But those things are easy to do once you have the money to do them, once you have the resources to do them. What if you did all that and I got you $500,000 in an SBA loan with a 20-year term at 5% interest rate, right? And you can pretty much take $50,000, $60,000 and have a new food truck anywhere you want it. I'm just saying, by building business credit, getting the right vendor trade lines, this is doable. And here's the beautiful part about it, right? You need 10 to 15 trade lines on your business credit profile for corporate only financing. Okay? 10 to 15 trade lines on your business credit profile and having a good personal credit score will give you a minimum of a 555 SBSS score or small business FICO score. Same thing, right? Do this two different terminologies. All right. With that score is the minimum qualification for an SBA loan, a 555. That tells the SBA that you got good personal credit and you got good business credit. That's what it does. Okay. Now you still have to have 10 to 20% down of the loan for the SBA of that size, but we can make a plan for that. You can reach that. Okay. Whether you reach it in a year or 2 years, it's an attainable goal with the right plan. It's an attainable goal with the right plan, with the right become bankable coaching. Okay. What if I can get to, what if you can get a new food truck every 3 months in the right location, with following the blueprint, and now you got three food trucks in the industrial parks or office parks, and you're set up for lunch, or even breakfast, lunch, or at night. In industrial parks, you can set up with a night shift. The possibilities are endless. Really, you can whatever you want to do it. Any busy throughway in any city is going to get you some traffic, right? Each of those food trucks is making, three, four, $5,000 a day, okay, right, in revenue, right? Let's keep it low. Let's say you're making $2,000 a day, and say you do 6 days a week, $12,000 a week times four, that's $48,000. Let's just say 50% of that is overhead. Trying to use the calculator. I'm keeping this typing. So basically, you got $25,000 a month in profit. Okay, right? 2 months, 3 months, you got enough money to get another food truck. But you're not going to spend the money on a food truck. You're going to get financing for the food truck. Food truck financing, you need 15, 20% down. Okay, I know a guy in South Florida that customized food trucks about $50,000. It's always good to know a guy, right? Right? So we order the food truck. We get the financing. You only have to come out of pocket what's 10 to 15, 15 to 20% of $50,000 is what? 10,000? Yeah. Okay. Now you're using your vendor accounts to supply the trucks, using some of the cash to pay the employees, right? Um, and you're generating income. You're generating income, right? Now you got two food trucks making $2,000 a day, 6 days a week. you know, all right. My point is, business vendor accounts is your gateway to revolving credit, higher lines of credit, corporate only financing, the SBA, more revenue, more locations, more financial resources all the way around. All right. Now, last thing, I'm going to jump off and enjoy my weekend. Um, it's vitally important. Like this is one of the most important things. I'm gonna give you the most important things for each for the vendor accounts. Get the ones that you need for your business. Do not waste your time and money on things you don't need. Okay. Do not get vendor accounts you do not need. All right. Number one. Number two, use them every month and pay them off every month. Right. Most of these vendors now want you to purchase every month on those trade lines, whether it's a net 30, 60, 90, 120, or revolving, right? Net means you pay it in that term. So net 30, you got to pay it in 30 days, right? If it's a net 60, you got to pay it in 60 days, right? If you can get your supplies and they last you 60 days, then that gives you 2 months to pay that off, right? And you want to pay it off, okay? Because that's your payment history, and you want to pay it 10 days before it's due to make sure it reports paid on time. Okay, because that's one of the vital points of business credit scores is payment history. Okay, but then you got a net 90, you got 90 days to pay it. You get a net 20, you got 120 days, 4 months to pay it. If you get a revolving, you don't have to pay it off, you pay it down and keep it going. But the first 3 months, you need to get at least, I would say, start with 10. Get you 10 vendor account, 5 vendor accounts, 5 cash accounts, right? In our software, we have both. So you can get cash credit cards for your business that are tier one, which is startup business, or tier two or three, whatever you qualify for, right? And and then get 5 vendor accounts for vendors that you need to buy products and services from. Right? Now you have 10. Use those 10. If you do the 75 to $100 per month per purchase, you're looking at $1,000 a month. Okay? You're a business owner. You should be able to have $1,000 a month for all. I mean, that covers your payments for each one. Now, if there's products and services you need more that cost more than that much, then go ahead and get it, but make sure you pay it off 10 days before it's due. Okay? But the thing of it is, a lot of these vendors are not reporting to the business credit bureaus until they have 3 months of consecutive purchases and payments. Once you have 3 months of consecutive purchases and payments, then it reports to your business credit profiles, right? Now, that fourth month, you got those 10 reporting trade lines, right? What are the qualifications for corporate only financing and SBA, right? Maybe and some business term loans as well. It's 10 to 15 trade lines. So that's not the only qualification. There are more, but that's one, right? You're working towards this, right? Some other things you could be doing is building comparable credit. That's what also these vendor accounts do. They go towards your comparable credit. Comparable credit is that you have access to other forms of credit, right? So when a lender or financial institution runs your business credit, they see, oh, they have $50,000 in comparable credit. Then I can extend them a $50,000 line of credit or a $50,000 business term loan. Okay. You won't get approved unless you have comparable credit. That's another requirement for corporate only financing. It's having comparable credit equal to the amount that you're trying to borrow. Okay. So that's all I'm going to give you today. You got to come back next week for the rest, or go back and watch some of the videos. It's not the first time I've covered this. All right, all right. But and all these work together. All these work together in becoming bankable. In becoming bankable. Yeah, all right. And this is where you want to become bankable. Hey, Devon, thank you for watching, man. Thank you. You want to become bankable. If your business is not bankable, you're not getting bank money. You're going to get higher interest, alternative financial institution money with daily payments or weekly payments. All right. But I have a lot of different financial resources. I have a lot of different financial resources. So if you don't know, ask me. Okay. Point being is I can find you some money somewhere usually. But if you want to be bankable, you got to be intentional and you got to follow the plan. You got to follow. There's no shortcuts. You're not smarter than the bank. You're not going to figure out some new thing to, you know, trick the bank and giving you a bunch of money. Okay, right? And all the money got to be paid back, or they're coming for you. Listen, uh, Black Label CRM has all this stuff inside the software, all automated, laid out, detailed, all no guesswork. Right? We have 200 uh, extending credit extending vendors in the software for your business credit foundation, your lender compliance items. We have the vendors for you can build those in a month. You can get those done in a couple of weeks, depending on how fast you want to do. But there's no time limit. You can do it in a week, or you can take whatever time you want. But you can have your 20 items lender compliance completed, right? Then the second step is you're going to set up your business credit profile. Then you're going to make sure everything else is in order, banks account, things like that, right? And then you're going to start. Then you're going to start applying for these trade lines, which are in the software. We tell you what tier it is, who they report to, and what the qualification requirements are. All right. Then we have a database of over 3,000 business extending credit extending vendors, um, categorized by industry or product. You can search by product or you can search by industry. And there's 3,000 plus of those in the software. So find your industry, find your product, find the vendors, and get those trade lines. All right. Once you have those, we move on to the next step. The next step is getting your finances in order. A bank is not going to give you a bunch of money without your business finances and your personal finances a lot of times in order. Okay. My point being is we have all of that in a step by step, automated as possible process where you can become bankable or you can get the software and offer these services to your clients, to these business owners. You can help your friends and families start their businesses and do it the right way. Now, here's the thing. You can get the software for, I mean, 300 bucks, $300 down and $300 a month, 297. Okay. If you want the the full boat plug and play, you get the business builder. The business builder is basically a cloning of my system, email kind of automation, right? There's some email automation in the software already, but additional email support, phones, appointment schedules, websites. We set the whole thing up for you A to Z. I mean the whole thing. The whole thing. Set it up for you. We'll set your phones up. We'll set your website up. We'll build your website, integrate it with a software, integrate it with a Go High Level account with no monthly fee on the Go High Level account, by the way, right? We'll create you 2 months of social media content. We'll create you at least 3 months of email marketing, text message marketing. We'll set up your autoresponder. We'll just set up your phone system. We'll connect it all together for you. And now you got a business that's plug and play. And then we give you all the marketing tools in the system, as well as ebooks, so you can choose a marketing plan, a marketing solution. We give you industry partners who are ideal referral agents. They can send you constant referrals, right? We have 30 industry partners in the software. In the next month, we'll have a zip code locator where based on your location, we'll put your zip code in there and it's going to give you a 50-mile radius of those 30 industry partners. A list, phone numbers, emails, business name, owner's name, and you can contact them and say, hey, partner with me, send me your clients that need funding and business credit. I'll send them back to you once they get funding so they can pay for your services. I'll pay you a couple $100 for each one I get funded. If you can get one, two, say two, from each category of the 30 industry partners, and then they were sending you, say, just two deals a month. So 30 times two is 60. You got 60 referrals coming in a month. And just I'm keeping it simple. Say only 50% of them get the first round of funding. Right? So you got 30 funded deals out of 60. Average commission is $2,000. And we're doing the work for you. Right? That's $60,000 in a month. And that's what my team doing the white label loan processing for you so you can keep going out and getting leads. Yeah, we offer that for free, included with the software. Now, yeah, you only make 35% commission, but 35% of the commission is about an average of $2,000. That's where I get that number. And you've got 30 funded deals. 30 business owners that need money? Yeah, I do. I know. I mean, quite frankly, all of them need money. Everybody needs money. Then with the money, you upsell them to the coaching. When they become bankable, come back to us, we get them the big money. And you make 35% of that commission. You're making $5,000 to $10,000 per client. And you can get the business builder package and all that for $597, $600 down, $600 a month. Yeah, it's financing, but it's not hard to get approved. I set it up that way. I set the criteria for the approval. 549 credit score, not a whole lot of derogatories, enough income to make the payment. And I have 3 other financing options. If that doesn't work, we got other options. So go ask your grandma for $300 or $600 so you can buy the software. and you have 30 days before your next payment is due to give me one funding deal. But I think you can get 4, 5, maybe 10 in the next 30 days. You can get 10 business owners to do a free success scan, get pre-qualified for one or more of our 21 different loan options, and we can close them. We're going to do it for you. I'm going to do it. Me and my team are going to close them for you. My name is Jeremiah Davis. Like, share, follow. Have a prosperous weekend. Peace.